So I'm Bonnie Megowan, and I have a question for you. Have you been sharpening shears for a long time and you wonder, do I really know what I'm doing? I felt that way a lot of times, especially over the 30 years I've been sharpening. So it helps to have your work evaluated. And that's what these are today. This is someone's been sharpening for about 16 years, I guess. It's someone I trained. I've been sharpening training a long time. And we're going to take a look and see what his sharpening looks like. In case you're new to my channel, I do a lot of videos on shear sharpening and clipper blade sharpening and a little bit of other things. And so check out my other videos that I have out there. We also put out the Sharpeners Jam each year, where we give some free and some paid training to shear sharpeners and clipper blade sharpeners. Basically people that are sharpening for hair salons, barbers, and dog groomers. But we're going to look at today these shears and evaluate them for the International Scissor Sharpeners Association. Anybody can do this. It's a one-time fee for lifetime membership, and you get some shears sent to you. You sharpen them. Basically it's basic sharpening, looking to see if you know how to convex a convex, bevel a bevel, and do they cut. And so it's like a sharpening 101. And the International Scissor Sharpeners Association is one of the oldest associations of sharpeners in the world, and it is truly international. And it's kind of a good group to be in, because we promise to be nice to each other, and that's always important. Be nice to other sharpeners. So let's take a look at these and see what's going on. So what I do, first of all, I check to see if they cut. I'm using toilet tissue. Yes, toilet tissue, but it's the real thin kind. Can you see my fingers through there? And it lets me know if it cuts, and then we'll do it dry and we'll do it wet, and wet will tell me if all the nicks are gone. What I've done to damage these, I've dulled out the edge and I put some nicks in it. And so without doing anything else to it, it cuts dry. Cuts dry. So let's see how it cuts wet. I'm kind of curious to see how this is, because so I pull my thumb out, close it, cuts beautiful wet. Wet tissue. A little bit of pulling at the tip. You see that? Now, if that cuts hair, it will still pass, because on a beveled edge, it's only if it cuts dry. But let's see how these cut hair, both of them. The beveled edge may not pass. This person, I happen to know, they don't do many of these low-end, cheap beveled edge shears. They're mostly doing the convex edge. Now I could use some mannequin hair, I can use some fuzz. Let's use some mannequin hair. I have got to get me some new mannequins. So this poor little girl, she's lost a lot of hair. Let's see how the convex edge, and I want to make sure it's not pushing. A little bit of push, you see that? Yes. Oh, it cuts better there. So this is the convex edge, and I'm going to say that cuts well. This one did not cut the wet tissue, but if it cuts hair, it's passing, but with a B. It's not cutting. So let's take a look and see if the convex really is a convex. It looks good. There's a couple of things on here. Now this passes, but I have a couple of issues with it that I want to point out. Number one, it's the tip. If you look real close, the tip does not come together. You see the gap in the tip? And there's a little bit of a lift. See with that tip? You see that little shine, how it's beveled? Has a little facet there. So the tip on these could have been better. The rod line looks excellent. But the tip, it doesn't meet. And I think if we were cutting fur, well, it's not catching, it's not pulling. It's not pulling, but that tip should be, it's not meeting. That should have been checked. All right, let's see what's going on with these beveled edge ones. I think I feel a little bit of burr left on the inside right here where it wasn't cutting. Feel a little bit of burr there. But other than that, these don't look that bad. Now, I know these have to be extra tight. I'm wondering if we tighten it, if that would fix it. Let me grab my screwdriver. So even though this doesn't move at all, with these plastic handles, sometimes just a little bit of tweaking will make the difference. Let's see if that makes a difference. Still pulling at the tip. And what's going on here is, like I said, I feel a burr on the inside of that blade. I'm thinking if that was smoothed out, that would cut. But the tips do come together. So I'm going to say this one did not pass. This one passed, but I'm going to pass it with a B because I don't like the way those tips look. I don't know if you can even see it. Let me zoom in here. See it sparkle in the light. Do you see that tip? It's kind of has like a little facet, little flat facet. Same thing on this one, not as bad. So it looks to me like when they were sharpened, like it was a little bit of lifting up right at the very end of the final part of the sharpening. But they're adjusted correctly, and as I said, these pass, but I'm going to pass them with a B. I think I'll give them back and let him work on them again. So the moral of this story is you can be an excellent sharpener, make really good money, and maybe need a little tweaking to your sharpening. This is why we have the Sharpener's Jam, a little tune-up. I'm interrupting this video to invite you to the Sharpener's Jam. We have it every year. This year is 2022. It's the last week of April. Some of it will be online. Some of it will be in person. You can take advantage or any of all of it. Some parts will be free. Some will have a charge to it. Go to sharpenersjam.com and find out all about it. Or join our Facebook group, which is called Sharpener's Jam, hosted by Bonika Shears. You'll see me and other educators. You don't want to miss it. It gets better every year. And I think this sharpener might need a little bit of tune-up on his sharpening. That doesn't mean he's not making a good living and doing a good job, and his customers are happy. But there's some little bits there that could be improved. So I'd like to see him work on these again and then send them back to me. So I'll be mailing these back, and good luck on the resharpening. Second half of this video, the ISSA, from someone who has been sharpening a long time. He redid them, even the ones I said passed with a B, and we're about ready to check them out. What you think? Let's see. Now the main problem that this one passed with a B or a C, I really felt like giving them a lower grade, but was the tips didn't meet. And I'm going to be having another video, you can check and look for it, about what to do if the tips don't meet. But the tips definitely meet now. They feel nice and smooth. And I'm going to cut tissue paper. I'm pulling it out, thumbs out, cuts dry. Cuts wet perfectly. And I have some hair here. Here's some hair. This is real slippery hair, and it's cutting nice, almost no push, and I don't even have my thumb in there. So edge looks good, nice convexy. Excellent job. I think he could have done this the first go around. What do you think? I think he rushed through it. Looks good. Definitely passes. This was the crazy one, because this is the easy one. You just pull up a burr and take off a burr. So, and they're just cheap plastic handle scissors. So let's see if it cuts dry. Cuts dry. Cuts wet perfectly. And hair. Snip, snip, snip. Up, it's folded right there a little bit. Do you see that? It's wanting to fold at that tip. I'm thinking I'm going to pass this one with a B. I think the only problem is the screw needs to be tighter. If I can tighten it. He might have gotten a defective shear. That would have been mean of me. Okay, that screw's a little bit tighter. Let's see if that fixes on the tip. Yes. So that was what was wrong with that. Oh no, it still folds a little bit. You see that? They're definitely sharp enough. If you just cut normal, with a little pressure, they cut fine. If I cut real slow and pull my thumb out, well, it's not doing it then. So that passes, let's say, A minus. Good job, certified. Beveled edge on a beveled edge, convex edge on a convex edge. This just goes to show it doesn't matter how long you've been sharpening. Take your time, double check it, look at those tips, because that's where they're doing most of their cutting.